Greetings, my name is Neosekken, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Corpse Party Returning Nightmare. In the last episode, we started exploring Heavenly Host as Toshi and Kazuhika, and we eventually had a happy reunion with Kana, and, well, now with the three of us, we started exploring Heavenly Host together, while piecing together any clues that we were able to find to determine what exactly is the deal with our situation, and what we can do, if anything, to get out of it. And, well, the short of it is, it's looking as though we'll have to do what the last group before us did, and that's appease the spirits of the ghost children that are holding this place together. At least that's what it would seem. But I personally doubt it'll be that straightforward, because it wasn't like that with the original story, and I have no reason to doubt it would be any less complicated than at least that much, than how it was presented in the original story. So we continued exploring, and eventually we found ourselves in a seemingly inescapable death trap in the bathrooms, and, well, it looked like some kind of benevolent spiritual entity helped us escape with our lives, and I guess all we're going to do now is just continue looking around, see what we can find. Now, I already actually started this episode, or at least I attempted to, but a storm was passing through here, and wow, it really looks like nothing happened. Yeah. Okay, hold on, let me just grab this here, and I'll continue my explanation. There's something on the ground here. It's a key with a label that says reference room. Let's take it. This key feels a bit weird. Does it? Just looks like a plain old key to me. I don't know. Makes me feel weird. That's all. Okay. So I already attempted to start recording this episode, but a storm passed through while I was recording, and it knocked out power when I was like 20 minutes into my first attempt with this thing. So I ended up losing that original recording, but I don't really feel like as though I lost a significant amount of progress, considering I was only like 20 minutes into it. And luckily, I know where to go from here. Next, that's 20 minutes of lost work, so it'll take me less time to get to where exactly I was before I lost power. So it's not too bad. It could have been a lot worse. Like, I could have lost nearly a full episodes of recording and then would have to do it again. And luckily for me, I had the foresight, once I heard the storm coming, to create another save slot down here in file 4. That was right at the spot. That was right near the spot where I last was before I lost power. So that way, I wouldn't save over my file 3 save in case something went wrong, and, well, looks like it did, and yeah. I wouldn't end up having to jump through a few extra hoops to get to where I was before. Okay, the reference room key slid to lock snugly and unlocked. I wish I knew that that storm was coming through here, otherwise I would have considered just, well, holding off recording until it would pass by, but I mean, hey, I guess that's what I get for not paying attention to the weather. If you pull out a book from the shelf, please put it back to where you got it. It makes it easier for me, so I don't have to sort any books. Okay, so I gotta find a few notes here, but I'll check out all these shelves first. There are a bunch of books about calligraphy, flower arrangements, and other topics of cultural value. None of them seem interesting. A pack of gum lays on the bottom shelf. Upon closer inspection, there is no gum in the pack. Some gum would have been nice to get this taste out of my mouth. Strands of human hair with red roots rest on the bookshelf. Even a slight breeze seems to move them. Books contain fables and other old folklore on the shelf. There's nothing useful here. This one. Several lobbed-off toes are resting on the shelf. Most of them seem to be the big toe, with the white of the bone sticking out of it like a toothpick. And knowing a certain entity that resides in this place, I bet she did use them as toothpicks. Attempting to open any of the books is useless. It's impossible to open any of them. Science textbooks, history textbooks, and math textbooks are on the shelf. There's no use opening any of them as the pages seem to be stuck together. There's nothing particularly useful in the empty bookshelf. And children's books with pages yellowed with age are lined up on the shelf messily. There's nothing useful inside. Dead cockroaches on their backs are lined up neatly on the shelf. How do they even get here? You ask the important questions, Kazuhiko. How do bugs even get to Heavenly Host? That is a good question, actually. Trying to move any of the books from their place results in failure, as if they are stuck to the shelf, part of a model. There are many books lined up on the shelves here. Unfortunately, none of them seems particularly useful. Huh? Hey, under that book, isn't there a scrap of paper under it? I pointed my flashlight to the spot Kazu's finger was pointing at and found a piece of paper under the books. It was crushed under the weight of the book and resembled a squashed bug under a shoe. Immediately, I handed the flashlight to Kazu and wrapped my fingers around the edges of the book, intending to pry it off. Much like everything in the school, it was stuck to the shelf like a piece of decoration. I tried again, but this time I put everything I had into it. The book was finally freed from its place, and under it sat a bunch of squashed roaches sitting on top of the paper we were trying to get. Ugh, gross. Yeah. Taking a deep breath, I told myself to man up and began scraping off all the crushed bug guts from the paper as best as possible. Oh, whoa, what are you doing? You don't have to use your fingers. Here, why don't you take the flashlight back? I'll scrape the rest of it off of a book. Or you could just use a corner of a shelf or that desk over there. That's also an option instead of a book. My face began to glow red. Man, what the hell is wrong with me? I gotta get my head out of the gutter already. I was doing great in the beginning. Sounds to me like this place is getting to you. Here. You can use my handkerchief to clean your hands. Thanks. After a few more scrapes against the book, most of the guts were gone. They still had left a stain on the paper, but at least we can read it. Come on, let's see what the note says. Nope, the notebook paper looks like to be the same one we found in that weird room, so this may be a follow-up. Yeah. Probably. God, no matter where you look, it's just bodies everywhere. I think I'm more scared of this place than Murasaki is. I don't know how she does it. Though it could be because of that Naho spirit girl. We ran into her once again, and she actually gave us really important information. Naho said that since they're the ones keeping these close spaces together, removing them from the equation might help us escape. Murasaki then asked Naho a question, but was suddenly freaked out. Naho's eyes were darting around the room as if someone was watching us, and then suddenly she had to leave. Once her spirit vanished, she left something in her place. It was some creepy doll. According to some of the newspaper articles around here, the doll belonged to the murderer who killed the children all these years ago. Huh? It stops right there? The rest of the paper has to be in this room. Really? It doesn't look like there are any more papers here. And that little thing just flashed at us. There's a thick layer of dust coating the entire shelf of the books. Just looking at it makes your nose itch. Bottom right shelf. And something is guiding us to where it wants us to go when it comes to finding these notes. I find that highly suspicious. Huh? Another part of it is here. When we were taking a quick rest, the doll, it started talking to us. At first it kept repeating the lines, "It wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me." But then we were able to talk to it. The spirit of the doll belonged to the murderer, but, well, it's kinda complicated. The janitor told us that he wasn't the one who killed those children, but it was actually one of the victims. The one who got away. Sachiko Shinozaki. I didn't believe it at first. I mean, this was coming from the man who supposedly killed these children. It's hard to trust someone with something that severe tied to their name. But for some reason, Murasaki lifted her palm and stopped me mid-sentence, simply saying, "Let's hear him out." He described the deaths in detail, about what Sachiko did to them, and said he was framed. But then he said something that caught both our attention. He knew a way out of here. I'm surprised Hammer Time could form such coherent explanations. Maybe he was on some good medication that day. A way out? No way. We have to find the rest of this. And there's one more in here we gotta find. No left shelf. Right here. The final part. Here goes. The children who died here all had various body parts removed. If we return these things, he says that we'll have appeased the children and we'll be able to escape. I didn't believe him, and I still don't. Murasaki, however, believes him. She says that even if he's lying, he's the only lead we have so far. But even that doesn't make sense. If he's lying, he could be leading us to a death trap, and we'll never escape from this place. But I didn't say that to her. She actually seemed excited that we got any information, and I kinda don't want to ruin her mood. But I swear, the moment I see something go wrong with this plan, we won't go through with it. The more I'm in here, the more I'm freaked out. It feels like there's something watching us. It feels cheesy writing that, but when you have that feeling in a place like this, you can't help but be more aware. Well, your survival is on the line. We decide to take another quick break. We've only been here a couple hours, but we are beyond exhausted. I'm writing all this down so that if anyone sees this, you can escape from this wretched place too. No one deserves to be in a place like this, no matter what. Good luck. Appeasing the children. I guess so. Did Sachiko really murder all those children? It's kind of crazy, but in a place like this, it wouldn't surprise me. I think we need to focus more on appeasing the children. It lines up with what Naho said in the very first note in the room with Ryu. But where do we even start? We checked every corner of this place and we haven't seen any body parts that belong to the ghost children. If they successfully appease the spirits, shouldn't they be gone? We saw... who was it? Ryo in the first floor. I'm not really sure, but we still have to try. Yeah, we don't have time to worry about whether or not they're still here. We just have to do it. Right. Let's get moving. I think there's another... The silent earthquake strikes again. Another earthquake. Are you okay, Kana? Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. Let's continue searching. No hope for salvation. I'll be the judge of that. Okay, we now gotta go down to the first floor. Now that we have had that earthquake just now, the layout down there has changed. Let's just rush on down there. I hope you're all having a good day, aren't dealing with bad weather. I mean, I don't mind rainy and stormy weather, but whenever I'm on my computer or any electronic that's hooked up to a wall socket, I can't help but get nervous, because, I mean, I don't want to lose power. And some electronics don't do too well with sudden power outages. Like, you could deal with, like, memory corruption and all that. I don't think anything like that happened with my computer, but I'm worried about that sort of thing damaging, like, say, my PlayStation 4 or something. Because I believe it was on in another room. Huh? Something seems different about this floor. I think it's some kind of design flaw that PS4 has, where it doesn't have like good protection from sudden power outages and whatnot, and that could just screw with the internal mechanisms of the internal hard drive or something like that. I don't remember the specifics, but it's just something that. But it, yeah. Basically, it's recommended that you try to shut your console off shut your console off using the in-menu functions or the power button or anything like that, rather than just forcibly shutting the thing off, because that could risk damaging something, I think. Oh wait, I already read this. Was this already here? Yeah, it was. I didn't go down this way before. Okay, so there's nothing down here. So we gotta go to this direction here. But yeah, pro tip, just make sure that you don't keep your PS4 in rest mode all the time or anything like that. Just when you know you're not going to be using it for a while, just shut it off and keep it off, because if, God forbid, there's a power outage of any kind or anything like that, you never know how it could affect the PS4 or any other devices that reportedly don't do too well with sudden power outages. Where the hell? It was as if we stepped into a completely different world. The setting was changed and the scent was different. A muddy odor. The walls seemed to be like they were made of mud and dirt, packed tightly by loose boards, making the assumption this place was not up to safety standards. Well, it needs to be, otherwise it would be a piss-poor excuse of a bomb shelter. Seriously creepy. And here we are exactly where I found myself before I ended... Well, shortly after I lost power. Like a couple minutes or so after this point, I end up losing power, and well, yeah. Anyway, to finish off our topic, maybe I'm just speaking stuff that's common sense. The lock remains closed on the handle, and when the handles on it are pulled, the doors are wedged stuck. But yeah, just play it safe with all of your electronics is all I'm trying to say, because you never know what's going to happen. And we got a loose board here. It's giant hole in the wall. Sorry, I held the damn shift key down. Well, duh. It's creepy and I get a terrible feeling from it. You have a bad feeling about everything. What? Guys, if it's that creepy, then let's just stay away from it, okay? And we gotta go in there because danger. Huh? This room is tiny. Yeah, it's like a closet or something. I still don't have a good feeling about this room. No way. It's just another journal entries. I think you want entry. From the students who escaped. Well, let's hurry up and read it. It's creepy here. After an enormous earthquake that felt like the school was going to crumble, Murasaki and I found ourselves in the underground bomb shelter. This place is even creepier than the school building. Not to mention, this is where the murders happened. Despite the circumstances, Murasaki stays positive and says this is a good thing. But she said that one of the articles describing the murders mentioned that some of the body parts removed from the children were buried beneath the dirt here. Again, how do these papers know all these details? So her conclusion is that if we find some of the parts, we can appease the children. I'm currently writing this as Murasaki digs around the area, but now that I mention that, I feel kind of bad and useless. I'm gonna dig with her now. There we go. Instead of just sitting around complaining, make yourself useful. So some of the body parts are dug around the place? I mean, if they already escaped, then that means there's no parts for us to scavenge, right? Didn't Sachiko do a lot of things to the children? If we only need one thing to appease them, we still have a chance. I don't necessarily see it that way. If we don't find any, then what? What do we do after? We haven't searched yet. We'll worry about it later. Okay? Let's just try to find some clues. Okay. Yeah, sorry. Okay. Now let's please get out of this room. Okay. Now watch. I bet the door's gonna be locked or something. Huh? Did we shut the door when we got in this room? Told you. There are no visible locks on the door, yet it is shut tight, as if it was a decoration on the wall. It feels like an outside force is keeping the door closed. You're joking. Stop this. Please. Please. Let us out. And we are trapped, ladies and gentlemen. Time for us to look around until something happens. Nothing. What if we try going back in the hall? I think I heard someone unlocking from outside the closet. Wow, look at that. So, what unlocked? One of these lockers? You never know. Maybe the door could still be locked and it's just one of these lockers I gotta look at. Doesn't look like that's the case, so let's try the door. What the hell kind of room was that? We were stuck in there far too long. Oh, relax. It was only like 2 minutes. Let's just stay away from that room. Agreed. Well, that was largely uneventful. Let's go here, because this looks to me like it leads to the bathrooms. I don't think I can go in there. Not after, you know, what happened the first time. Understandable. We won't leave you alone for now, but if we don't find anything useful anywhere else... Got it. So I guess I gotta look around more first. Well, at least I understand her trepidation. Somewhere I'm gonna find a hole to use the plank on. Where? The sign on the door reads pool. Probably the corpse pool, if I had to guess. The wooden doors are firmly shut and refuse to budge no matter how they're tried. They need a key to be opened. A pool? Underground? Yeah. And doesn't this school already have a pool on the first floor? It's not the kind of pool you think it is, kids. There's a gap on the floor. It's too risky to jump. Let's use the board. H. There's just an H here. It's a good-looking H. I'll give it that. Oh, hello. I I didn't want to go in there just yet. I thought that was like a bookshelf or something. Found the fourth victim's memoir. Let's read it. I don't get it. Why am I still here? Anyway, I see a ladder up there. I wonder if that leads to one of the second floor bathrooms. After hiding Naiko's body, Kamiyu and I didn't know what to do. We sat against the wall of the third floor bathroom hallway doing nothing but mourn for our dead friends. It wasn't until a massive earthquake had happened that we were snapped out of our crying-induced state. We both decided that we couldn't sit here and cry. That Naoko would have wanted us to get out of here alive. So we got up, said a prayer, and went on our way. We found ourselves in the underground bomb shelter that I didn't know the school had when we stumbled across an inhumane room. The walls were deliberately covered in thick blood that dropped from the ceiling like drops of water in a deep cave. On top of that, there were dead bodies stacked in the corner of the room. Once again, we saw a familiar uniform among the bodies and ran out of the room. We sat at the wall, traumatized about what we saw. Kamiyu decided that she needed to be alone and went to the bathroom to calm down, so I was left alone at the wall near the death room. And among the shadows, the thing appeared right before me. I called out to scream for Kamiyu's name, but my voice wouldn't come out. The thing spoke to me again and told me that one body wasn't enough to fuel to bring me back to the real world. Of course not. That it needed one more. This time I refused. I couldn't speak, but I shook my head violently to get my message across. I couldn't betray another one of my friends. Not again. But the thing insisted. It told me that this is what Naiko would have wanted. No, I doubt it. To make sure I was safe. Because she had feelings for me. That couldn't be true. The thing went on to say Kamiyu would want me to be safe and would willingly sacrifice herself for my safety. But I didn't want to believe it. And once again, another memory triggered in my mind. This time it was about the time when Naiko gifted me my kitten as a birthday present. When all my friends were gathered around a small table watching me open presents, I couldn't help but cry and bawl. I wanted to see them all again. The memory was shrouded in darkness before I found myself back in the underground bomb shelter with the thing looking down on me. When I met its gaze, it asked me the same question. Do you want to leave this place and go back home? I responded with a nod, and at that moment, the thing was gone. And when I looked back up, in the distance, a scream could be heard. Now hold on, Thane. It's not like they said that they wanted you to kill their other friend here in order to go back home. They just simply said yes to, I just want to go home. I think you're stretching your interpretation a little bit. You dick. I walked up and rushed to the underground bathrooms where I saw Kamiyu's body slumped on the ground, her head missing. Yet I am still here, and not home with my family. I was betrayed. Unless you said yes to go ahead and kill her, in which case, well, I'm kind of lost whatever sympathy I've had for you at this point. What do we have here? What the? These look kind of official. Yeah, they're medical reports. Hospital. Patriarcha Crucis. Patient's name, Yanagihori Yoshikazu. Admitted for neurodevelopmental disorder. Treatment, medication, antipsychotic. That's right. Janner was sent to a hospital, but he broke and went back to this school too. And here is the chair. Just ignore the noose. It's not as interesting as the chair. The murder site. Man, it's dark in here. It's hard to breathe, too. There's no ventilation whatsoever in this place. This is where the children were all killed, right? According to the other set of entries, we're supposed to find body parts. But it looks like the place has already been dug up at this point with all these holes. They probably didn't leave any behind. Maybe there's something left in these holes? Within the hole, part of a newspaper article from the Heavenly Post and the key can be found. The piece of the article reads, "One was repeatedly stabbed in the abdomen with a large pair of sewing scissors. His discarded innards were found partially buried beneath the earthen floor of the room. Found body pool key. Oh, would you look at that. Within the hole, a part of a newspaper article from the Heavenly Post and a key can be found. A piece of the article reads, another was stabbed in the head dozens upon dozens of times, to such an extent all flesh and bone above her jawline was essentially minced away. Found auditorium key. The hole is empty. Found another chair. So we got two places we can try going to look at now: the auditorium and the body pool. But I also kind of want to look around for that final victim's memoir. So I think what I'll do is I will save here at file 4. And we'll start by looking at the pool. The body pool key slid into the lock, snugly unlocked. Smell. It was as if your mouth was full of pennies. The overpowering copper aroma from dried and wet blood hit our nostrils hard. Hidden beneath the metallic smell, a recognizable scent could have been smelled. The odor of decay. The smell is too empowering. I think I might... Ah! Here. Maybe you can use that bucket over there? What is this place? Is there really something in here? If there is, let's hurry up and find it so we can leave already. Let's look. It looks as if the girl had died just mere moments ago. Her wounds seemed recent, her blood is bright red. There's a student ID name tag pinned to one of the wounds, as if to stitch it shut. Central Saitama Trade School, Class 2B. Ran Yamada. Hi, Ran. Interesting seeing you here. Assuming you are the Ran from Sweet Sachiko's Hysteric Birthday Bash. At least I think your last name was Yamada. Do my damn hardest to keep track of everybody's names here. The head of this middle school or high school student body is completely pulverized, leaving a mashed pink meat with shards of bone where the neck ends. There's no student ID to be found. There's somebody at the end of the pool. A ladder. It's definitely a ladder. But where does it lead to? There's no way to get to it. I mean, there is. How? Well, you swim through. We swim across the pool to get to the ladder. There's no way I'm swimming in that. Especially after what happened in the bathroom. Maybe if you find out how deep it is, we can determine the best possible solution. Well, get a bucket. Actually, no, that wouldn't work. Skeletal remains lay on the ground with half of its body still in the pool and scratch marks near the floor. There's a student ID name tag pinned to its damp uniform. Eheiji Municipal Middle School, Class 2-8. Nanako Imai. The corpse looks like it tripped and fell and died on the spot. There's a pool of blood gaping from his mouth, suggesting he bit his tongue when his chin hit the floor. There is no student ID name tag to be found. We got an item here. There's something on the ground here. Standard rope is resting here. It's quite lengthy. Let's take it. I think we can definitely use this. The body of a male student is resting on the wall here. He has a gaping wound across his abdomen with some of his intestines pulled out from the inside. There's a student ID name tag stuck to one of his strewn out intestines. Central Saitama Trade School, Class 2B, Fuwara Hueda. Poor bastard. The entire body of the skeleton looks like it was smashed up upon multiple times. All the bones of its ribs, arms, and legs are completely crushed with the skull untouched. There's a student ID name tag in the eye socket of the skull. Kishimoto Junior High, Class 2C, Gintawada. I can use my makeup bag? Huh? Are you sure? It's gonna get ruined. I know it will, but there's nothing else we can use. And besides, I can just get another one once we escape, right? True. Right. Then let's use it. God, what's wrong with me? I was gonna suggest one of the corpse's arms or something. Still a very, morbid, but it's still an option. Okay, I've tied to the end of the rope. I'm gonna lower it now. It hit the bottom, I think. If it did, then pull it back up. Okay, the water soaked the rope until here, so that's about 100 or 110 centimeters. It's much deeper than I hoped it'd be. That only reaches up to my waist. I could easily walk over there. That's true. But the ladder is also really high up. I don't think you'd be able to reach it, even if you jumped. Then somebody's got to stand on someone's shoulders here. I think I'd be able to climb to get one to go on my back, and that person would climb the ladder to see what's up there. Do you really think you could do that? Yeah. I definitely could. I could get Toshi on my back pretty easily, so you wouldn't have to touch the water at all, Connor. Huh. Really? Are you up for it, Toshi? Yeah. I can handle that. Let's get you on my back, then. Kazu removed his shoes with his socks and handed them to Asano for safekeeping. He then faced the water in front of me and bent over slightly, where I then climbed on his back. I wrapped my arms around his neck for support, and he held my legs to his side so I wouldn't fall off easily. Be careful, you two. I'll watch from here. Whoa. I know it's kind of unexpected, but this water is even warmer than I thought. Let's get this over with already. The headless body of a female student is floating in the murky water. The student ID name tag can be found floating to mass. The Heiji Municipal Middle School Class 3-3, Machiko Takahashi. The body of a schoolgirl is floating face down in the water. She isn't moving. Her student ID name tag is pinned in her hair. Central Saitama Trade School Class 2B, Shinobu Tanaka. Corpse is floating in the water. There's no ID to be found. Don't check it out now, guys. Fine. There's only just bloody water I'm in. Alright. We're here. Do you think you can reach it from here now? Yeah. Give me a sec. I signaled Kazu to raise his body just a bit, and wrapped my hands around his neck, grabbing for the metal bars. Kazu ducked under and behind me to dodge my flailing feet, as my body hung limply from the bottom of the ladder. I finally used my upper body strength to climb up on the next set of bars and pull myself up. The ladder led to an opening on the ceiling, and after peeking my head through the hole, I found a very small room. It was about as big as an apartment closet. And it only took for half my body to go through the hole for my head to hit the ceiling. I immediately sneezed, however, due to the dust and dirt that had gathered here. Excluding all the dust, though, there was something else in the room. In the corner of the room sat an old wrinkled sack with a name tag tacked on. It looked like it was resting there for a long time, and a foul odor was emanating from it. A body part? I grabbed the strings at the top of the bag and dragged it over to me. The name tag read, Ryu Yoshizawa. Well, would you look at that? We got another one of your body parts. It felt heavy, and the bottom of the bag was damp, making it feel like the bag was carrying wet towels. Curiosity overcame me. I finally peered into the bag. I screamed and almost fell backwards into my terror. Kazu, who was at the base of the ladder watching my lower half, held out his arms in case I was going to fall. What? What is it? What did you find up there? Kazuhiko? What's wrong over there? I was at the edge of puking, but ultimately kept it down and quickly sealed up the bag. I then grabbed it and made it down the ladder. What is that? Let's make it back to Asano. I want to leave this pool already. Okay. Do you need help getting down from there? Yeah. Hold up. Found Ryo's remains. Sana reached out her hand for Kazu to grab and pulled us up. It didn't really seem necessary, though. I don't think she really helped much. From the waist down, Kazu was once again drenched in blood, and a foul odor was wafted from him. God, that was gross. I really wish we can stay away from bloody water forever. I still have the towel from earlier, if you want it. It's still a bit damp, but I think it's better than nothing. Yeah, I'll take it. Thanks, Kana. So what'd you find up there, Toshi? That was a pretty scary scream you did. Yeah, what was it that freaked you out so much? Kazu had already seen it, but I presented the sack to the two. Ryo Yoshizawa? I plopped the bag on the dirt floor where it made the sound like that of a wad of wet paper towels hitting the surface of something. Are you guys ready? Kazu and Asano looked at each other with worried but curious eyes like me when I first saw the bag in the room and nodded in agreement. I placed my fingers inside the opening at the top of the bag and separated the two ends as much as possible to reveal what was inside. And, well, that was a predictable reaction. Inside the bag, coiled around itself like a venomous snake, there were thick noodles of human intestines. What the hell? They're from Ryo's body when he was murdered. No kidding. So did we just show these to his spirit? Yeah. To appease his spirit, right? But can't there be a safer way to do it? You could just toss it at him. I don't know. It's the only way we can. We have to try something. Toshi's right. Let's hope this doesn't give us too much trouble. Let's go, then. Okay, we got Ryo's intestines. I guess now we just gotta go find him. Or maybe he'll find us. Anyway, the music stopped. Can I go in here into the bathrooms yet? Okay, I guess not. I don't know why I'd want to go in there. Oh, there we go. We got music again. Oh yeah, the auditorium. Doors of the auditorium are wedged shut. No matter how much force is used, they won't move an inch. The door unlocked with a click once the auditorium key was inserted into the keyhole. Okay, before I move on, I'm gonna look around to see if I can find the last victim's memoir note in case it spawned anywhere inside the school. Hello? Huh? Where did Rio go? Maybe we should be glad we don't have to face him now. Yeah, but if he disappeared, we don't know where he is. That can be pretty bad too. You think? Looks like there's something lying on the ground where he used to be. Looks like some kind of old-fashioned doll. Found the doll? Okay. Was expecting to find this, but I mean, hey, I guess I shouldn't complain. Whoa, hello. Whoa, watch it! Hello, Gurgles. Directly in front of us, the hallway was highlighted in light purple, with the source being from a spirit, Tokiko. It's Tokiko. And what's that behind her? She was giggling, or at least trying to, as she was playing and jumping about. Whatever was behind her. Where did Suzuki go? Is he safe? Probably. On the wall. What is it? Was it a... Huh? My vision. It's going black? Did I just stumble across the wrong end? Looks like it. Where am I? I had woken someplace different. We were in the second floor, but in some kind of underground basement instead. I felt relieved that I wasn't in the school, but that feeling was soon wiped after seeing the contents of the inside of the room itself. The splattered blood all over the room looked as thick as mud, and it was covering almost every inch. The huge table in the middle of the room looked somehow familiar, but I couldn't place it. Ah! Since I was too busy scanning the room, I didn't realize that Asano was right next to me. Okay, so this is different. She was knocked out cold, however, as no matter how much I called her name, she wouldn't wake up. Asano was strung up on the wall with her arms over her head, wrists tied to a rope connected to the ceiling. This made me realize that I was in the same situation. I couldn't move my fingers, but that was probably due to the rope cutting into my wrist and closing off my blood circulation. What is this? Why are we tied up like this? And where's Kazu? Probably dead, if I had to guess. As if to answer my question, the giant steel door slowly slid open, revealing someone shorter than expected to have opened a door that seemed heavy. Behind the door stood a little girl with light brown hair braided into two pigtails. It was Yuki. Hey, Ukes. Ah! I quickly turned to Asano, who was now fully awake. She must have woken up due to the heavy door being open. Yuki walked inside the room with someone following her inside. The person I also recognized. It was Kazu. Here they are. Oh, thank God. Kazu! What's going on? Kazu? What's the meaning of this? Kazu's face looked relieved to see us and immediately rushed over to get us down. But I was stopped by a loud little girl's voice. Stop! I did say there was a catch, didn't I? Don't do this. Just let them both go. We're trying to help you. When Kazu tried to reason with Yuki, her face became cold and emotionless, staring deep into Kazu's eyes. Kazu, what the fuck is going on? Yuki then turned to face me. You see here, I promised Kazuhiko here that I would lead him to where his friends are and that he would be able to save them. Or at least one of them. Kazuhiko is forced to make a decision, one that would make one stay and the other leave here. Yeah, as if you would let any of us leave, I mean. Huh? One of us? Hey, you can't do that. You can't put that kind of decision on someone. I don't care what you think, Kazuhiko. Go on. Choose who you want to save, or I'll kill all of them. Let's just think about this for a moment. I wasn't even pressing the damn keys that rapidly. Stupid Windows 10. Kana. Huh? I choose to save Kana. That was pretty quick. As you wish. I guess our little bromance didn't really mean much in the end, huh, buddy? Yuki happily skipped over to Kana and untied the ropes, and Asano immediately fell to the ground. Kazu then rushed to her side and helped her balance on her feet. Kazuhiko? He quickly glanced at me, clearly ashamed, but went to put his arm around Asano and let her out of the room. Once they set foot outside the room, the giant metal door slid closed, leaving only Yuki and I alone. What a shame. Your very best friend chose a girl over you. I wonder how that must feel. This is kind of like some of those notes I've been finding. History repeats. Boys only think with their pants instead of their brains, you know? That's not true. Some of us sometimes think with both. You see, he doesn't really give a shit about what you feel. But don't feel too bad. They'll get their karma soon enough. Wink. No, that's not right. Don't worry, Toshihiro. Despite what I said earlier, I care about what you feel. Oh, I'm sure you do. I'm sure the kind of feelings you care about me the most are my feelings of suffering and mental anguish, which I'm going to probably be experiencing a lot within the next 2 minutes. Huh? My body immediately flinched when Yuki lightly placed her hand on my thigh. Stop! What are you? Yuki then moved her hand up, sliding her hand under my jacket and shirt, touching my bare stomach with her cold hands. My hair was standing on end as I sucked in my stomach, but she still softly caressed it with her hand. I care about how you feel. Yuki quickly withdrew her hand from under my shirt and walked over to the large cabinet and opened it. Sorting through multiple tools, Yuki finally pulled one out of the closet. Pliers. In her hand, Yuki held a long metal spike with barbed wire wrapped around it. Not even close. She was so excited that she didn't even close the cabinet doors, instead skipped back to me, spike in hand. I care about what you feel. About you. Suddenly, Yuki swung the spiked bar like a baseball bat and made contact with my stomach. The tiny barbs poked through my jacket and shirt and punctured my skin underneath. Ah! Stop that! She attempted to pull the bar off my stomach, but the barbs had lashed onto my clothing, and she became fed up trying to separate the two. Instead, she wrapped her hand on one end of the bar, and her other hand on the other end, like a set of handlebars, and pushed a horizontal stick into my belly. Gah! Stop! Stop it! Ah! Then Yuki began to grate the barbed stick left and right, while still pushing into my belly area, shredding my uniform and the flesh on my stomach. I screamed in pain as my skin was being shredded like cheese, waterfalls of blood pouring out from my abdomen and onto the floor. You're making a mess. I'm cold. So very cold. Tokiko. Why? Well, he clearly cared more about Kana than he did you. Why'd you leave me here to die? This pain and torment. It's all your fault. Yet another wrong end. Well, 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 look what I found here. I'm all alone. The thing came back for me. I asked if I could go home now. It said yes. The way back was through the entrance. I followed it there until it stopped walking right at the front doors. What's wrong? It told me I was a fool to believe it. It wanted to take me too. Imagine my shock. It lied. I stepped away from it and cried out, "Help." "Help," it said. "Who's going to help you?" it said. "You betrayed your friends because some shadow told you to. And because you didn't mention me to them, they all died. You could have stopped this," it said. "Your friends are dead because of you. They no longer want you alive," it said. "They want you to die already. You're unstable and selfish, moronic and backstabbing. I'm probably doing your friends back home a favor," it said. "What kind of monster basically kills their own friends?" it said. And then it opened its body and ate me. And now I'm writing this note. You are cursed too. Fuck. Where did everyone go? Kazu? Where are you? Where? I need you! Everything is black. Where are you? Kazu! I'm scared. You're not in the bathrooms. You're not in the underground bomb shelter. So where could you possibly be? Kazu! Kazu! Huh? There's someone there. Laying on the ground. Kazu! Is that you? Huh? Huh? Kazuhiko? Oh, it's just you. Sano. Do you know where Kazu is? Toshi? No. I don't know where he is. Is he gone? Clearly. I've already searched the entire building. He's nowhere to be found. Toshi, you're soaked with blood? I told you! I searched everywhere, including the body pool in the underground bomb shelter. He's not there! You're kind of freaking me out, Toshi. What? That isn't important. Aren't you worried about Kazu? He's missing! Where are you going, Asano? Stop. You're scaring me. I'll look for Kazuhiko by myself. Are you stupid? You want to split up? In a place like this? Do you want to die? Hey, come back here. Stop! Asano! Shit. If Asano finds Kazu before me, then she'll surely steal him. Turning a bit of yandere on us, Toshi. I can't let that happen. I won't let it. Huh? Oh boy. There. Put you in your place. Huh? Toshi. Is that really you? Kazu? Glad you're alright. Have you seen Kana? I heard her scream just a second ago. Did you hear it? No. No. I didn't see her, nor have I I didn't hear it, nor have I seen her. Damn it! We were all just together a moment ago. How did we end up separated? Kazu. I'm scared. I was so alone. Hey. It's okay now. I'm here, okay? Don't worry. I'll protect you. Will you? Of course. I won't let anything bad happen to you or Kana. So let's go searching for her too. Huh. Toshi? Are you alright? You don't look so good. I'm fine. Just tired. Let's go now. Okay. Just making sure. Let's get going then. Whoa, hey. Do we really have to lock arms? Yep, definitely yandere. Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump right into the auditorium. God, what's this music blasting from the speakers? God, sort of too. It's making my head hurt. There are far more important things we need to be worrying about right now. Like, what are those things up here? Yep, this is definitely the auditorium. So, what are these? On a table, an antique doll has its neck tied to a very thin piece of rope. It's impossible to pick up. Feels like it is super glued to the table. What's the point of these? Undoubtedly a trap. This one's empty. The table is empty. I feel like we're missing something to make this more complete. Probably that antique doll I found. What the hell is this place? So messed up, but after everything we've seen so far, this doesn't even bother me so much. Yeah, same. It's so disturbing. Let's move on. After, we look around a bit first. Nothing of note. Okay, I guess I'm gonna need to go get that antique doll. It's empty. Maybe we can do something with this rope. Yeah. With the antique doll that we found, maybe we can make something similar? We can try something. We didn't know what to do at first, but ultimately tried the most obvious solution. We took the leftover rope we had from the body pool and mimicked the shape that all the other ropes were in. Nooses. We wrapped it around the doll's neck, and the whole time I felt uneasy. We were doing something seriously creepy. I shook off my uneasiness, however, and set the doll on the desk, as the other ones were resting. We waited for a few seconds and nothing happened. We tried fidgeting the doll to get it as perfectly as possible. Sana was really annoyed, so in her irritated state, she picked up the doll from its place. But the doll didn't move an inch. It's glued down to the table as if it were a decoration. What the? Thank you. Soon after, I heard a giggle come from the depths of my mind. The sound waves started echoing and my ears started to hurt. I assumed the others could hear it too, as they reacted violently as if a bug was stuck inside their head, scraping the inside of their skull. Stop! Get out of my head! Once the laughing subsided in our heads, the ropes tied to the dolls' necks was loosened and unraveled due to an unknown presence. Then we heard 3 consecutive heavy thumps behind us. Are you guys okay? What was that? Even though the laughing stopped, I can still imagine it in my head. More importantly, what was that noise? The rope in the doll cannot be picked up anymore. Probably the corpses behind here, if I had to guess. Yep. It's the corpse that was previously hanging on the noose earlier. There is no indication on how it got released. There's a student ID name tag stuck to its uniform. Satsukiyama Academy, Class 3C. Miyako Hayakawa. It's a corpse that was previously hanging on the noose earlier. There is no indication on how it got released. Student ID, talk to your uniform. The Heiji Municipal Middle School, Class 3-3. Kaito Takeda. Corpse from nowhere. There's no trace of where it came from. Slung on its back, however, is another sack that resembles the one you found in the body pool room. This one looks exactly the same as... No one said anything. Kazu just nodded and kneeled down next to the corpse. I'm gonna need help getting the bag off her body. Don't worry, let's do this. I'm assuming this is Tokiko's remains. Ugh, I got some of her on me. Here, I got you. Asano took Kazu's hands and wiped them down for him with her handkerchief. Thank you. My hands were just as dirty, but kept it to myself and wiped them on my pants. Should we look inside? Why, though? The name on the tag on the side already says Tokiko's Tsuchi. We know it's hers. Yeah, and the bag is pretty heavy. I think we can assume which part this is that was removed from her. Oh, right. We should try and give it to her spirit then. But we haven't seen Tokiko yet. The only children we've seen so far is just Ryoji and Yuki. Huh. You're right. If she's not here, what do we do? Well, I know where she is, so we're going to need to go up there. Then we just look for her. We've gotten pretty lucky so far. We can't stop now. Maybe we can check the second floor? We haven't really explored the right side of it thoroughly. Maybe... Alright. I hope he's not there anymore. Let's go then. I'll take the bag, Toshi. You don't need to carry that. Okay. Okay, we got your remains. Student ID name tag can be found pinned on its tongue. Kisaragi Academy Junior High School, Class 2-3. Rina Matsuda. You're from Kisaragi, but I have no idea who the hell you are. Alright, let's go find Gurgles. Oh, Gurgles! Whoa, watch it! Directly in front of us, the hallway was highlighted in light purple, the source being from a spirit, Tokiko. It's Tokiko! And what's that behind her? She was giggling, or at least trying to, as she was playing and jumping about, whatever was behind her. Where'd Suzuki go? Is he safe? On the wall. What is it? Was it a... It doesn't matter right now. Stand back, you two. We don't want what happened last time to happen again. Huh? Are you crazy? Don't you see that thing on the wall? The ghost probably did that. What if that happens to you? Well, at least it'll be a very quick death. Asano pulled on his sleeve, urging him to stop approaching the ghost. She was starting to freak out. Well, what else are we gonna do? As long as she gets her head, she'll be gone, right? I won't waste any time. I was also worried about Kazu, too. But at this point, Asano's panicking would have caught the ghost's attention and put all of us in danger. I made contact with Kazu and we both nodded. I then grabbed Asano's sleeve and pulled her away from Kazu so he can do his part. He's going to be okay. Jeez. Since when did you start worrying about him? Asano finally calmed down a bit, and Kazu continued with his objection with the sack in hand. I think... Hey! He carefully came up behind Tokiko before saying her name, but it seems like Tokiko was too occupied with playing with the intestines on the wall. Tokiko! Tsuji! I have your head. That seemed to have caught her attention. Toki stopped dead in her tracks and looked straight ahead. Since everything above her jawline was gone, her tongue failed to create incoherent words. I think he wanted coherent words. And her esophagus tube could only produce gurgling noises. It sounded like a baby was being buried alive. Tokiko finally turned down toward Kazu, intrigued about his earlier comment. She didn't do anything, however. Tokiko just stood there before producing an earthly gurgle and vanishing into thin air. What? Where'd she go? Maybe you appeased her? No, definitely not. That's possible, but I still have Tokiko's head. Shouldn't that be gone with her? What? Kana? Ah! Oh dear. Kazu's puzzled face quickly dyed to the same color of fear in an instant as he looked past me. He immediately started sprinting toward me, pushed me past me, which caused me to almost fall into a nearby hole. I managed to catch my balance before turning my head to see what he was in such a hurry about. Hey! What the hell, man? I was about to yell at him before I finally turned my head to see what it was. Help me! It took a while for my eyes to dilate to adjust to the sharp purple glow in front of me. But once my eyes were adjusted, I saw Asano on the floor. Asano was being pinned down by Tokiko as she wrapped her hands around Asano's neck and squeezing it with every ounce of strength the spirit had. She was struggling to breathe, and her eyes had rolled up to the top of her head, and her face was dyed purple. You might want to hurry. Tokiko! Get off her! You bitch! Tochi! Help! Do something! I was stunned at first, but was snapped back into reality from Kazu's voice, and immediately rushed to where he was kneeling by Asano. Here! Try to pry Tokiko's fingers off Kana's neck while I try to appease her, okay? Got it! Tears started to form at the corners of my eyes as my best friend was being strangled right in front of me. No matter how hard I tried to pry them off, they were stuck to her neck like glue. Every time I tried to dig my fingers under Tokiko's hands, my fingers would stab into Asano's neck and her body would jolt from pain. Tokiko! Look! Your head! I turned to look at Kazu to see a rather disturbing sight. Cradled in his arms, a small human skull that had its lower jaw missing was resting. Kazu wore a face I'd never seen from him before. Kazu then pushed me to the side and held the skull out in front of him until Tokiko finally looked up to see what he was presenting. Tokiko's severed tongue flailed again like a fish out of water, but this time it was in pleasure? Tokiko, this is yours. Please let go of Kana. Tokiko's grip on Asano's neck finally seemed to have loosened, and she sat upright on Asano. With tears streaming down her eyes, Asano began to gasp for air once Tokiko fully let go of her. Asano's neck was severely bruised, and the faint mark of tiny fingers wrapped around her neck was visible. Here, take it. And with that, Tokiko gently reached out her hands and took her skull from Kazu's hands. She caressed the skull gently, rubbing her fingers along the top of the skull. Finally, she started to glow a bright purple until it became so bright it was blinding. Once the glow had resided, Tokiko's spirit and her skull were nowhere to be found. You okay, Kana? You okay, Kana? Are you sure you're alright, Kana? I'm sorry I didn't know sooner. I'm so sorry. I promise. I won't let anything like that happen again. I swear. We're gonna find our friends and escape from this hellhole. Together. Me and you, Kana. You got that? I got it. Jeez. Okay. What do we do now? We only have Ryo and Yuki left, right? But we didn't find any of Yuki's body parts in the underground bomb shelter. Nor do we even know where Ryo even is. Maybe we just didn't look hard enough. There was a couple locked rooms that we couldn't get into. So we spend more time in the basement. Even if we find Ryo and appease him, what about Yuki? We don't have her missing body part. We haven't seen her at all in this space. In this timeline, anyway. Well, I told you already, remember? I was in the second wing when I woke up and Yuki chased me over here. So maybe Yuki is in the second wing then. If she's not, she could be like Tokiko, where she just appeared randomly. Hopefully the same can be said for Ryo. So, our next 3 objectives are to find Ryo and appease him, find Yuki's missing body part, and finally appease Yuki. Could we, rest, though? For now? I barely have any energy. I'm so thirsty. What time do you think it is right now? I'm not sure. I wonder if our parents are worried about us. I doubt they even know you're gone. Yeah. You still owe me a ride home. You know my parents are working late tonight. Oh, right. You asked for a ride home. Well, I can't blame that you forgot. For everything that's happened. I really hope we can get out of this. Together. Huh? It's another earthquake! What's going on now? Hello? Yeah! Suddenly right before us, Tokiko, who we just appeased, stood in front of us. It's Tokiko again! And we're cornered too! Fuck! Kazuhiko had already stood in front of Asano, and Asano and I to shield us from the threat. Don't worry, I'll distract her and you two run. What? Hurry, I'll try to lead. Kazuhiko, stop. Look. Huh? It was indeed Tokiko, but she looked different. Probably, the exact opposite of malevolent. And I bet you got some exposition to give us, right? Instead of having a purple sheen, Tokiko glowed a calming white. The spirit looked like a normal child, but her eyes were cloudy. Eyes like those of a dead fish. But she looked alive. Tokiko had her head fully intact. What's the meaning of this? You three. You attempted to save me. I can't believe it. Did we successfully appease you? And if we did, why are you still here? Didn't you go to heaven or something? You did appease me. But due to the curse of this school, I'm destined to be one of the cogs that hold these closed spaces for eternity. So, is it true then? The one who murdered the elementary students of Heavenly Host was Sachiko? Yes, that's right. But how? How can a little girl just do that? To her fellow schoolmates, no less. You see, it wasn't until after these spaces were formed we found out what was Sachiko's motive. Before we died, Sachiko herself had died in the school building 20 years earlier. She was killed by the principal after Sachiko witnessed the death of her mother, who was also killed by him. But even before that, Sachiko was from a high spiritual bloodline, so when she and her mother died, Sachiko had cursed the principal and his son, the janitor. The principal and the janitor were both driven mad. It'd be 20 years later that Sachiko would take advantage of the janitor's mental state to convince him to kidnap the three of us. When the school was finally shut down, these closed spaces were formed by Sachiko and used the despair of the murdered victims to hold it all together. People who trespassed in the school after it was shut down were sent here to be brutally tortured by us. It wasn't that bad at first, until a new method of getting inside these spaces was posted on the internet. What? Naho Sainoki, a high school paranormalist, discovered a new method to enter the new spaces. Sachiko Ever After it was called. Wait, Sachiko Ever After? Doesn't that sound familiar? No way. What? What is it? Do you know what it is? It's the charm, you idiot, you performed to get there, you doofus. It's the charm. Huh? The charm we did. The one back at the classroom. The one Hisako told us to do. She's right. Don't tell me. That's why it's Matsumoto's fault? No. It's not your friend's fault. The instructions on the blog were wrong on purpose. Why would Sainoki do that? To appease her senpai. She was inflicted by the darkening. She had been touched by the curse of the school and could not think clearly. So please, don't blame your friend for all this. This is what happened with the last set of students. Wait, the other students? The ones who escaped? Did the method of appeasing you all truly work? Calm down a bit, Kazu. Let her speak first. The last set of students were able to escape by appeasing the three spirits plus Sachiko. Because we hold the spaces together, they began to warp once we were removed temporarily. The kids were able to escape. Sachiko, is she still here? No. Because Sachiko was able to move on. The school needed a new master to take control of the school, and it chose Yuki. Yuki is the new Sachiko. So if we appease Ryu and then Yuki, we should be able to do what the last set of students did and escape, right? That's for certain, yes. No way. We actually have a chance! But there is a crucial step to escaping, and it has to do with the paper charm that you received during the ritual. Huh? Our paper scraps? Yes. Whatever you do, Do not lose them. Once you have appeased Yuki, the way to escape is by chanting the Sachiko after charm correctly, then putting all the pieces together. If you do not have your piece, you can't escape. Mine is still in my bag, though it's a bit damaged from it getting wet earlier. Yeah, same here. Will we be fine if they are damaged? Yes. As long as you have some piece of the charm, it should work. Oh, thank God. I thought I lost mine. I just kept mine in my breast pocket. Good. When it is time to escape, you'll need to do the charm correctly. You just chant Sachiko, we beg of you, once for every person participating, plus one more for Sachiko. We know the correct way to do the ritual. So, can we leave? What? No, you can't. You can't. Because of the previous students, the spaces are even more distorted than they have ever been. Attempting to escape now is very dangerous. Why would we even leave now? What about our friends? Hey, I was just wondering. If you were going to stay here to find everyone, then I would stay too. Speaking of our friends, will we be able to meet? Can you help us traverse these spaces? Unfortunately, we cannot. Since Yuki has been crowned the master of these spaces, she has inherited Sachiko's spiritual power, and she seems to have made the spaces more complex. I don't know why she would do this, though. Probably for the fun of it? Isn't there anything we could do, then? There is something. I'm able to cross over these spaces. I can try to find your friends and tell them about everything you have done so far. That way, we can let them know that you are safe, and if Yuki or Ryo are in our space, your friends will know what to do also. Could you really do that? Yes. Somehow I doubt Yuki's just gonna stand by and let you act as messenger girl. There's no way it's gonna be that easy, right? Well, what about us? What will we do while you try to get to the others? I mean, nothing really. You can rest up until I come back to alert you guys if anything happens. Though do note, if Ryo or Yuki were to be near you, or any of your other friends, I will not be able to contact you or your friends. If I get too close to them, I may revert to my original state, where I kill innocent people without warning. So be careful around me as well. That's gonna happen anyway, eventually, so... I see. I'll be going now. I'm gonna try and find some of your friends. Be careful. The school itself is still dangerous, so still be on the lookout. But wait! We still have Ryo's remains. But if Ryo really isn't in our space, our friends won't be able to appease him. Well, I know for sure that he isn't in this space currently. I can maybe take his remains and place them somewhere where your friends can find them. The only problem is that Ryo can also freely travel through spaces. So if I do take them and put them in another space, if Ryo were to travel back to this space, you wouldn't be able to appease him either. So we gotta take a gamble then, and hope that we get lucky. I'm willing to take that risk. What? I am too. Very well then. I will take his remains with me. Let's hope your friends will be able to stumble across them. Thank you, Tokiko. I'm sorry about what happened to all of you. Just like when we appeased her, Tokiko started to glow white before disappearing into nothingness. She's gone now. Yeah. Well, there's nothing for us to do now, right? Can we go to the first floor? This area makes me a bit uncomfortable. I guess. Well, even if we're done, we still haven't searched the basement in its entirety for Yuki's parts. We don't know for certain that they are not in there. We can do that later. We seriously need this rest. We went through a lot. Yeah, I really need it. I'm beyond exhausted. It's alright. If Tokiko doesn't come back after about 30 minutes, we'll search the basement again. Don't worry. Alright. Let's go then. What's up, Kazu? I thought I heard a noise come from this room. You might want to stay away. The sign says infirmary. Door's locked anyway, right? Yeah, you're right. Probably just imagined it. Huh? The floor is... Earthquake. But be careful! Kana, are you alright? Yeah. What was that? Oh shit, I think I recognize that shadow up top. It's that weird abomination again. Sprouting from the ground, a large man-like creature had formed right before our eyes. It towered over Kazu as the many eyeballs on its squishy body darted in different directions. Its tentacle-like arms hung limply at its sides. What is this thing? Might want to run. Kazu! The creature took its first step towards Kazu. It wouldn't take much to notice that we were in immediate danger. What the hell is wrong with you? We're gonna die! Let's go! Hurry up and run. I won't let you get hurt. Now again, run with us, you idiot! Kazu, what the fuck, man? You'll just die too. Why don't we just run together? It's okay. I have an idea. Just go already. What are you gonna do? Freaking try to make a deal with this thing or something? Like that fool in the victim's memoirs? Rah! Oh. Apparently that thing can swear. Once the camel came to contact the monster, the figure blew up in a fiery blaze and staggered backwards, clearly damaged by the fire retaliation. It actually worked. Who cares? Just get over here already. See? I told you I would protect you. Shut up already. Don't worry, Kana. I think we just made it angry. Oh shit. No, he's not. Ah! Oh boy. No, wait. Oh shit. I really hate to leave things off like this, but I need to cut things off here. We can see what happens with Kazuhiko in the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this latest episode of Corpse Party Returning Nightmare. If you did, and you want to see more content from me, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I'll see you all next time, and I hope you all aren't too upset with me cutting things off here. Anyway, take care.